Alright guys, so today we're going to be learning this very simple but elegant and classy fascinator. If it's something you'd like to learn, don't go anywhere, sit back and watch. Welcome back guys to my YouTube channel. My name is Sophia, and on this channel we discuss everything headgear. We do everything headgear and fashion. If it's something you're interested in, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share. So today we're going to be making this very classy fascinator. It's simple and it's something you can put together in less than 10 minutes, meaning if you're having an event the next day, it's something you can put together the night before. So we're going to be using this 6 cm roses. We're going to be using this Alice band. I'm using a padded one because I love to sew on my Alice band. I love to sew on my Alice band, so I'm using a padded one and not the other one, right? Okay, so I'm using a birdcage veil. Yeah, so I'm going to be using a birdcage veil, just 26 inches. So right now we're going to put the Alice band on the mannequin head. That's the first step to making this simple but classy fascinator. So I'm going to measure. Remember, we have a video where we really explained the measurement of this headband, Alice band stuff. So if you haven't watched that video, I think you should go back and watch that video, right? So the measurement of this padded Alice band is 15 inches. Yeah, the padded ones are normally 15 to 16 inches. So I want to get, for this particular design of fascinator, I want to get the middle of the brow, because everything I'm going to be attaching is going to be at that point. Do you understand? Yeah, because that's where I want them to sit. So I'm going to mark the middle of the brow. Yep. So that's it. I'm drawing a line. So that's the middle of our brow. So you must always try to get the middle of the brow, and to get that, it's about 9 inches from one ear, right? So I had measured from the left ear up to this point, and it gave me 9 inches, and that's the middle of the brow. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna mark that now, right? Oh my, the chalk, sorry, it's a pink chalk, so I'm going to change to a white one now, right? So always try to use a chalk to mark on your Alice band, so that you can always clean it off whenever you want. So I'm going to use a white chalk now, so that you can actually see what I'm doing. All right, so yeah, so my chalk is ready. I'm just going to put this away so that we can have space on the table, right? So we're going to measure again, so that we can be sure of our measurement. So that's 9 inches there, and so I'm going to mark it. So 9 inches, right? Yeah, so once I've marked it, I would then start preparing my roses to glue on that point. But first of all, I'm gonna pull or gather my bird cage veil or net, or whatever you would like to call it, right? So I'm going to gather that, and you see I've gathered it and I'm just placing it. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So we are going to pull just 3. So this bird cage veil has four ends, right? So we're going to pull just 3 ends, here, here, and then here, right? We are not pulling this part. Yeah, that's the part that's going to be on the face, and we're not pulling that part. So I'm going to use my needle to pull here, here, down here, and then this last part, that's from this point. I'm going to pull to this point, pull to this point, and then gather it, right? Right, so I'm just passing my needle through the holes on the bird cage veil or net. Yeah, so I'm just passing my needle. So guys, this design is very, very simple. You know, I always say you do not need any experience to be able to to make any of the designs we put out here, because I love to teach in very simple steps that everyone can understand, even people without experience. My tutorials are always beginner friendly. So if you listen and you follow all the steps we put out here, you will be able to recreate your own designs, and it will come out the exact way the ones we put out here come out. Okay, it's going to be the same thing. There's not going to be any difference at all, right? And this headgears, it's making your own headgears saves you a lot of money. You can sell them. Actually, you can use them to start a business. You can give them out. You can make your own headgears to attend any event, right? So I'm still pulling this. It's a very, very simple design to make. It's something you can put together in less than 10 minutes, right? So if you have an event like on Saturday, it's something you can put together on Saturday morning or Friday night, right? So I'm just ending this now, right? I'm pulling the last part of it. So that's it. Just trying to make sure I don't miss any of the holes. Normally I pull 2 holes and leave 1, and then just like that. So that's it. I'm done passing my needle and thread through the holes on the birdcage veil, and I just pull together, right? So I just pulled it together, and I'm gonna place it now on my Alice band to be sure I didn't gather too much. I didn't gather it too tight, and it's not too loose as well, right? So while it's on there, yeah, so I'm just trying to adjust it to look like what I would want. Yeah, so that's it. That's how I want it to look, right? Yeah, so still adjusting to make sure I have exactly what I want. Yeah, so I don't want it lying flat on the face. Yeah, so I want it yeah, so that's exactly what I want. So I'm gonna take, yeah, so that's the mark. I want to sew the birdcage net now onto the Alice band, so I had to mark again so I'm not missing my mark. Yeah, so I'm gonna sew it on the mark, right? Yeah, I'm gonna sew it on that mark now. So I just took it off so that I can sew. So I'm sewing it on. Yeah, so just make sure you make very, very neat stitches. Make sure your fascinator is looking very neat at all times. You know, I always say hide your stitches as much as possible, right? Even if you're going to cover them with something afterward, just make sure that you hide your stitches as much as possible so that your fascinator can look neat from every side, right? Right, so I'm just trying to make sure my stitches are hidden, and yeah, it's a padded fascinator, so I can sew on it. It's a padded Alice band, sorry, so I can actually sew on it. Yeah, so I'm trying as much as possible to make sure my stitches are hidden. Yeah, so that's it. I'm just trying to sew it down. So I just keep sewing it till I get what I want. So yeah, I just tie that off because I think it's sitting firmly now. But you see this rough end, that's the edge of the birdcage net. Like I told you, everything should look neat even if you're covering it. So I'm just going to fold that in and sew it down. You see, right? So I'm going to fold it in, and then folding it in, and then I'm going to sew it because I want it looking very, very neat. I don't want any rough edges hanging out anywhere, or I don't want to try to do any covering or anything. I want it looking neat, right? So when we are done sewing down those rough edges behind, we just tie off the thread, and that's all, right? So make sure it's sitting on that line. That's why I always love to draw that line, so that I'm not making any mistakes, right? Okay, so yeah, it's sitting on the line. You see, it's looking really nice already. So we're going to be using these roses. Like I said, you can use the 8 cm one, but I'm using the 6 cm ones because that's what I could find for now. So we're going to be using the 6 cm ones. I bet you can use any size you want. Just depends on how elaborate you want your fascinator to look, right? So we're going to be attaching 2 in front and 2 behind. The ones we're attaching behind is just to cover the back of the ones we have attached in front, so that our fascinator can look neat from every side, right? Okay, so next I'm going to be attaching the roses, and I'm using the candle glue, right? Because it lasts longer, right? The other glues tend to fall off after a while, but the candle glue lasts for as long as you want it to last, right? So I've attached that one. Just make sure you're attaching it on the mark, and then I'm going to attach a second one behind, and make sure it meets the first one, right? Make sure the second one you're attaching behind meets the first one, okay? Right, so I'm going to attach this behind, and I made sure it met the first one, so that they both sit and support each other, right? So none is hanging, they are leaning on each other, so it's firm. Okay, so I'm gonna add 2 more. I'm gonna add 2 more, one in front and then one behind it, right? So I'm gonna attach this one in front. I'm gonna attach this here, and then I would attach so that's it. See how beautiful it's already looking, and very neat, right? So we're going to attach one to cover this point. We don't want to see that that white mark there, so we're going to attach the last one. You can attach as much as you want. You can use 6, you can use 7, you can use 8. Just you can use as much as you want, honestly. So I'm using 4 because I just want something really simple. So I'm gonna attach this just behind this one. Make sure you're not gluing down the other rows, the petals of the other rows, right? So so that's it. That's beautiful, right? So we have 4 roses on there. You can use as much as you want. You can use whatever size you want, okay? So this is how simple it is to make this beautiful fascinator. See how neat it is from the front, right? Very neat. And this is how neat it looks from the side. And then that's how pretty and neat it looks from behind. And that's all, guys. Let's know if you enjoyed this video, guys. I hope you learned something today. Tell us in the comment section what you think about our videos. See you next weekend. Bye.